All right, welcome class. So today, we're going to build a really crucial foundation for how you describe the world around you in Mandarin. We're taking a big step beyond just naming things, beyond simple nouns and verbs, and into the world of subjective experience. I want you to really think about this for a second. How do we take something we see, or a feeling we have, and transfer that impression from our mind into someone else's? Well, language is the answer, right? It gives us the tools we need to paint a picture with words, to actually share how we perceive the world. And today, we're adding the very first, and maybe most important, colors to our palette.
Okay, let's dive right in. Learning how to describe things is, without a doubt, a fundamental step in mastering any language. It's really the difference between just identifying something, saying, this is a vase, and actually expressing an opinion or a detail about it, like saying, this is a beautiful vase. That little word, that adjective, that's where the language truly comes alive. Now, to build our descriptive toolkit in the smartest way possible, we're going to start with a really powerful method, learning concepts in opposing pairs. See, by understanding a word and its direct opposite, you immediately create a whole spectrum of meaning in your mind. So our journey into describing appearance begins at the two poles, the pleasing and, well, the unpleasing. So, our first stop is one of the most common, most useful adjectives you're ever going to use. It's how we express beauty. We're not just going to learn it, though. We're going to really break this word down, piece by piece, so you truly understand it. So before we even talk about how it sounds or what it means, I just want you to look at it. Just observe the characters. Notice the complexity here, the number of strokes. See the balance and the structure inside each one. There's a kind of elegance to the form itself, which you'll see really hints at the word's meaning.
Okay, and here's the pinyin, our guide to pronunciation. 漂亮. Now listen carefully to the sound and rhythm. 漂亮. Let's really tackle the tones now, because this is where precision is absolutely non-negotiable. The first syllable, 漂, has a fourth tone. Now, you'll remember the fourth tone is that sharp, decisive drop in pitch. Think of it like a quick, firm chop. Down. So, 漂. Got it? Now, the second syllable, liang, is what we call a neutral tone. And this is just as important. It's light, it's unstressed, and it just kind of tacks on to the end of the first syllable. So what you get is a strong falling 漂, followed immediately by a light, quick liang. Putting it all together, it flows just like this. 漂亮. A really common mistake I hear all the time is students giving liang its own full strong tone, saying something like 漂亮, and that just sounds unnatural. You have to remember, all the energy, all the emphasis is on that first falling tone. Let's all try it together. 漂亮. One more time. 漂亮. Excellent.
So, what does it actually mean? Well, formally, 漂亮is an adjective we use for any kind of pleasing appearance. You can translate it as pretty or beautiful. And what's fantastic about this word is how incredibly versatile it is. You can use it for a person, a beautiful painting, an amazing landscape, a piece of clothing. You can even use it to describe beautifully written handwriting. It is an absolutely essential positive word you're going to want in your toolkit. Okay, so for every concept, there's usually an opposite, right? And learning that opposite helps us to find the boundaries of the original idea. To really fully grasp what's considered 漂亮, we have to understand its antithesis.
Now, let's take a look at the character for ugly. What do you notice right away? I mean, compared to the intricate, complex form of 漂亮, this character Cho is visually so much simpler, isn't it? It's just a few strokes. It's stark, it's direct, which, in a way, really reflects the blunt nature of the word itself.
The definition here is pretty straightforward. It's an adjective for an unpleasing appearance. But, and this is a big but, the pronunciation needs our full attention again, because the tone is completely different. The pinyin is 丑, and it uses the third tone. Now, the third tone is, well, it's famously tricky for English speakers. It's a falling, then rising tone. I want you to imagine your voice literally tracing the shape of a small letter V. It dips down, and then it comes right back up. 丑. A super common error is to just make it sound flat, or to only do the first part, the falling part, without the rise at the end. In other contexts, that could totally change the meaning of a word, so you absolutely have to complete the full contour. Let me do it again. Listen for that distinct dip and rise. 丑. See? It has this kind of melodic, scooping quality that's so different from the sharp drop of the fourth tone. Seriously, practice this one. Getting the third tone right is a huge milestone in your Mandarin journey.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. The crucial point I want you to get is that these two words, they don't exist in a vacuum. They're not just two random items on a vocabulary list. They form the two endpoints of a whole spectrum that we use for aesthetic judgment.
And this slide really lays it out perfectly. On one end of the spectrum, you have the pleasing, the beautiful, 漂亮. And on the complete other end, you have the unpleasing, the ugly, 丑. Think about this. By learning just these two words, you've suddenly gained the ability to express a massive range of opinions about the world you see. And this isn't just about words. This has profound cultural significance. In Chinese-speaking cultures, building relationships, what's known as guanxi, is absolutely paramount. Knowing how and when to compliment something as 漂亮 is a vital social skill that goes way beyond just being polite. It's a tool for showing appreciation, for building rapport, a well-placed and, more importantly, a correctly pronounced compliment about someone's garden or their calligraphy or their work. That is a crucial step in building a positive connection. It shows that you're observant and that you respect their effort. So you see, understanding this spectrum isn't just about vocabulary, it's about developing real cultural fluency.
All right, let's bring all this together. We're going to summarize what we've learned and really reflect on how this new descriptive lens, as we're calling it, fundamentally changes your ability to interact with the Mandarin language.
So here are the big takeaways for today. You now have two core descriptive tools in your belt, 漂亮 for beauty, 丑 for its opposite. And the most important point of all, you now understand that the tones, that falling fourth tone versus the dipping and rising third tone, they are not optional. They are the absolute make or break key to conveying the right meaning. I really want you to see this as something more than just a vocabulary list you have to memorize. You've genuinely acquired a new skill today. You now possess a new tool for observing, for interpreting, and for communicating about your environment. This is a fundamental upgrade to your linguistic abilities. You know, the philosopher Wittgenstein said this, and it's just profoundly true. By learning these words today, by truly understanding the spectrum of appearance, you have literally expanded the limits of your world. You can now perceive and you can articulate nuances in Mandarin that were completely inaccessible to you just an hour ago. So, I'll leave you with this question to take with you. As you go about the rest of your day, look around. What are you going to see through this new descriptive lens? What's the first thing you're going to see and think, hey, that's 漂亮? Because that is how you start to make the language truly your own.